Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Out here in the barn again today, and we are going to be working on the Camaro. I've got some new parts I want to show you. We're going to do a little disassembly and some reassembly and see what happens. So today, I'll go ahead and look at this one last time. Got the stock, or the LT2 ported intake, ported LT5 throttle body, and we are moving to the Brian Tooley Racing Trinity mid-length. Now I've got a Katech 103mm throttle body, so we're going to be flowing some air now. Let me set you down, we'll pull this out, we'll take a look at everything and go over it a little bit. So I found this on the Gwatney Performance Facebook for sale page, brand new in the box. Got a good deal on it. Guy drove halfway to meet me, so that was very nice, but here it is. Trinity mid-length. Fits under the stock hood, 3-piece manifold, so the runner sections come off. Came with a nice set of instructions. It's got all your bolts to both the manifold together and to the head, and some washers. Got a couple of brass fittings. One will be for the brake booster on the back, and the other is for the where I can hook my catch can up. Also has a plug if you don't want to use that hole. It's got all the O-rings, got a throttle body gasket. Got the O-rings for the manifold to the head, and I got another piece of hose to match my catch can setup from Mighty Mouse, really high quality hose they sell. And they recommend that you use the LT4 fuel line coming out of the valley. It's got a machine spot right here, so that'll fit and look real nice, look clean. And I got the evap purge solenoid adapter for this manifold, go on this side. And it's going to be a good setup. It's a cast manifold instead of plastic. So the deal I got for this, and then I bought the Katech 103 directly from GPI. And I basically paid what I would pay for a ported MSD for the manifold and the throttle body put together, so I saved a good amount of money. Nothing wrong with the MSD, it's a great manifold. But I know a couple of people that have that, so I wanted to try something different. So we're going to put this on today. We'll take one last look at the ported LT2 setup. So I'll end up cutting my zip tie, moving that out of the way. The map sensor is going to go in the rear. We'll adapt the purge solenoid. I'll probably just pull the line off of this adapter, and it'll go straight to the back of the intake manifold there, and the brake booster line. So I'm going to delete the hard line off of here, and I'm just going to use the line I got from Mighty Mouse to plumb that in, since it doesn't have the factory quick connector type deal on it. And then I can sell the manifold with O-rings, with the brake booster line, and the throttle body and the adapter and everything all as one solid piece. I think that'll be a pretty good deal. So to get this off, we got 5 bolts on each side. We're going to undo the brake booster line from over here. Going to take this line off. We're going to take the map sensor off. Going to see if I can put the manifold in with our catch can line in the way and not have to unhook it. I'll have to take the ignition coil covers off. Should be a pretty straightforward install. Shouldn't really take too terribly long. So this is the fuel line coming out of the valley that'll be replaced. So you'll probably want to wear some safety glasses when you unhook that, because it's going to have some pressure in the line. And as always, when you're unplugging electronics on new cars, you want to go ahead and disconnect the negative terminal on the battery just to be safe. But let's pull this manifold, at least pull part of it apart, and I'll show you the design. So it's got a 105mm throttle body. We're putting a 103 on there, but the hole is 105mm. And let's take these off. So I already took them off, but it's a number 5 metric Allen to get these bolts out. So it's got short bolts in here, or for the manifold to bolt together, and the long bolts with the washer are for bolting the manifold to the head. It's got machine grooves in it for the washers. So that makes it pretty nice. They did a good job machining this. Brian Tooley Racing makes very quality products, as always. Get this one out. And manifold comes apart. There's an O-ring for each runner. It's got a machine groove in it to accept that O-ring. And there's the back, there's where our brake booster line will go, or the map sensor, I'm sorry, and the brake booster line will come out of here. We'll thread in this brass elbow, plumb that in, be good to go. So I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to put the O-rings on and get it put back together. And then I'm going to work on getting the manifold off, and I'll join y'all back here in a few. All right, so manifold's apart. Got all the O-rings pushed on. Very simple, they just slide right on. The torque spec for this, putting it back together, is 89 inch-pounds, and there's 20 bolts that hold these together. They slip right back in, nice and easy. Make sure you actually have your torque wrench. You don't want to break one of these off in the manifold. That would be terrible. I'm going to get all these put in. I'm going to get them torqued to spec, and we'll start pulling the old manifold off. All right, we're back. So we got the intake manifold taken off. It looks like I didn't get enough thread sealer on my rocker arm bolts. Got a little oil in the intake track there. No big deal. So an executive decision was made. I am going to delete the evap purge solenoid setup. I did not read far enough into this, but you have to drill the manifold to get that to work, and I am not drilling the intake manifold. We're just going to put this on there. Started putting the O-rings in the grooves. I've already got the runners tightened down to the plenum. These O-rings pressed right into the recess, nice and tight. I've got my elbow on the back. The brass fitting came with the kit, and I've got my hose from Mighty Mouse shoved on there. That was a royal pain. I'm going to use the cap or the plug to block off this side. I'm going to use this side to route the intake or the catch can back to. So I'm going to get this set in place. I've also swapped to the LT4 fuel line coming out of the valley there. Went ahead and got it hooked back up. The factory one has this little flex piece in there, and this one kind of routes up a little bit higher. And I managed to shove the coupler from the JLT onto the Katech. It will fit, going from a 95 up to a 103. You can still get it to fit nice and tight, so that'll work out. I'm going to get the manifold set back in place, and I will get back with y'all in a minute. All right, so we got the intake on, and it looks good. Everything fit very nicely. I used my rubber line here off the elbow on the back to the brake booster. I reused that factory clip there, and I just shoved it on that elbow, which was a real pain. Hose was a little bit small for it. We used some white lithium grease and got it on. We took that connector off of the LT2 and used it for the brake booster. This one just shoved right on the fitting. Man, it looks good. That looks really good. Hope to gain some power with this. And now we're going to stick the Katech on there. That's going to look good all black under the hood. Y'all give me a few minutes. I'll get that bolted on, get the air intake hooked back up, everything plugged back in. We'll see the final result. All right, y'all, got everything buttoned up under the hood. Everything is connected back, throttle body is connected, MAF is in there, filter's back on. Everything's tightened down. I torqued the manifold to spec to the head. I think everything is routed very nicely. So we're ready to fire this thing up and see what happens. I've already got my battery reconnected. Let me jump in the car and fire this thing up and see what happens. I like to cycle the ignition a couple of times. I've already done that. So now let's go. Oh, disconnected the battery, so. Oh yeah. Nice and easy. No check engine light so far, so that's pretty good. I figured something would come up with that evap purge solenoid being disconnected. No check engine light. Everything looks good. If I do say so myself, it's a very good looking manifold to fit under the factory hood. Everything should close just fine. We'll end the video with some shot. America. well, hope y'all have a good day. I'm about to go for a drive and just make sure nothing comes up and we've got everything buttoned up properly. Definitely going to need a tune revision for this, but it should be safe to drive for a while until I can get up to the shop for the dyno. Need to get HP tuners where I can start remote tuning when I make little changes like this. But I like the way this turned out. It really wasn't super difficult. I should have just done more reading and made sure of everything I needed to do before I did this. But as always, catch y'all next time. Hope you have a good day. Later.